Well, Casey McCurry is part of the team at Columbia's Cooking, which is part of the Arnold School of Public Health. It's a cancer prevention program at University of South Carolina.
Right.
Because we can actually improve our lifestyle and our health and chances of avoiding some of those diseases.
Right, by diet.
Yeah, by what we choose to eat. And it looks pretty healthy so far, but tell me, the program that y'all have been working on lately is a new kind of diet. There are always new diets. So let's hear about this diet y'all are pushing right now.
This is we teach a whole food plant-based diet. And we also, because we're part of the Cancer Prevention and Control Program, this is backed by a lot of research and evidence. And so we teach, at Columbia's Cooking, we say that healthy has a definition. So we have all the evidence to back it up.
So it's not just, this isn't just a fad. There is actual proof that this is a very, if you follow this diet, that you can, you might hope that it would help you avoid some diseases that none of us would ever want to have.
It's reversed heart disease, which people don't even know is possible.
Whoa.
So it's a really healthy diet, and so a lot of people are really interested.
And good for people with diabetes, you said?
Exactly.
Or people who need to lose a lot of weight?
High blood pressure, because you're without eating meat or dairy or oil, you're eliminating saturated fat and cholesterol and removing all of that from your diet. So it's really healthy.
But I don't have to be starving to death.
Exactly. You can eat as much as you want.
Well, let's talk about this, because I would like to eat some of this. It looks delicious, and we hadn't even put it together yet.
Exactly. So we have a Fiesta taco salad that I'm going to make with you. So first we have some kale here. This is Tuscan kale. And you can add a good bit of that.
Okay. So this is really a beautiful dark green, and kind of roughly, so it's going to hold up in this salad beautifully.
It's a really sturdy, hearty green, and so we like to have that for the base. And then this is a mixture of green cabbage,
this
red
is so
cabbage.
pretty.
I know, it's pretty for all these colors. Broccoli, kale, and Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprout.
Shredded Brussels sprouts.
Really?
Yep.
So if we look, if we kind of shop around, we can find this in the produce section of some grocery stores.
Yeah, a lot of grocery stores these days have mixes like this, which is really helpful whenever you're trying to make a really healthy salad.
Okay, that Brussels sprouts, that'd be a nice thing to crunch on and unexpected, wouldn't it? Yeah, okay.
So the next thing we have, this is about 1.5 cups of black beans. Okay. And I have a recipe that I will share with you, but when I'm making salads, I like to just eyeball it. You can do that. So we're gonna add
Now, did you drain these and rinse them?
Yes, rinse and drain black beans.
Okay.
This is corn that I've rinsed and drained.
All right.
So I'm gonna add this in too.
And I was saying earlier that actually, if I go to the field and get an ear of fresh corn, I might even think about using that just raw, because I think, you know, because if it's right out of the field, it's so tender.
Oh, that'd be the best.
Don't you think so?
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if you want to start tossing that, the next thing I'm gonna add is quinoa. And I'm actually going to talk to you a little bit about
tell us what this quinoa business is.
So quinoa is actually a seed, but it cooks like a whole grain. And it's really filling, and it has a lot of protein similar to whole grains. So you cook it. I have it right here to show you. This is the box. You just bring 1 cup of quinoa and 2 cups of water. So 2 parts water, 1 part quinoa. Bring it to a boil, and then let it simmer for 15 minutes. And
you put the top on it?
Nope, doesn't have to.
Okay, and do you put a little salt in the water?
A little bit of salt.
Okay.
Because if you don't season it, it's not going to taste like much. So season this ahead of time, and I'm going to season it again.
And one thing I like about quinoa is that my husband doesn't really like real grainy whole grains. He thinks the flavor is just kind of hard. But this one is real light in flavor.
Exactly.
So you're getting the whole grain, but it doesn't overwhelm the dish the way some of the others do.
So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of salt.
Okay.
And since we're not eating processed foods, we're eating all of these plant foods, then you're reducing so much of your salt intake that you can add salt. Yeah,
and pepper. And you rinsed everything off too.
Exactly.
So the salt on the beans and the canned vegetables was rinsed off. Yeah.
Exactly.
So we can put some back in and not feel like, oh, we're just eating too much salt.
Exactly.
All right. This is looking pretty.
Yeah.
I like the way the quinoa looks, because it's got different colors to it.
See, this is really pretty. So if you'd like to add some to this plate here.
Now, what are we going to do with this?
The cilantro is going to go on top.
Okay.
It's going to be our garnish. So I have some even picked ahead of time.
I guess I shouldn't have tried to interfere with the cook. I'm always telling people what to do.
So the next thing we're going to add, this is salsa, just your favorite kind of salsa. Pick whatever you want. And this is going to be like our dressing. So I like to let people dress it themselves. Okay. So this is really pretty. So we toss that together. We're going to add as much or as little sauce as you want. This is going to give it a lot of flavor.
Oh, it looks pretty too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I say add as much as you want. So 1, One more scoop. It's a lot of
You
salsa.
like salsa.
I do
I
like
like salsa too. Okay.
So the next thing, this is an avocado.
Yes.
And I want to show you how to, you might know this, but how to cut an avocado in half and scoop it out. A lot of people don't know how to use an avocado, so they don't. So all I'm doing is just cutting this around the pit in the middle. You'll see it in a second.
Okay. This is a nice ripe avocado too.
It looks like it. Hope.
Okay.
So there we go.
Aha.
So
Very
the
nice.
pit, this is the pit. We're not gonna use this half.
You know, you were lucky because a lot of times when you open avocado, it's got a little brown spot
Exactly,
in it.
surprise. So this one looks pretty good.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna score it with my butter knife here. I'm using a butter knife because I'm cutting really close to my hand.
In other words, this isn't a sharp knife. This is just a table
Right.
knife. Yeah.
Yes, so you don't have to worry about nicking yourself.
Oh, okay.
So I've got my little grid pattern here.
Wow.
And then using my spoon, I'm just gonna scoop it out like this, and I'm gonna have to use my hand to sprinkle it a little bit so it gets, well, like so. Add a little bit more.
All righty.
So this is our...
And the color, we're getting another color green in too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this last thing that I have for you is a cashew cream. I'm going to show you how to make it. We have cashews. These are raw cashews. They've been soaking for a couple hours, so they'll plump up a little bit. And
I can see they have plumped up.
exactly,
Yeah, very
and
much.
they're really smooth and easy to blend. So I'm going to try to not make a mess. I'm adding the cashews and the water they've been soaking in. That's going to make this blend really easily. And the next thing I
They
have,
soaked for a couple of hours, right?
a couple hours.
Okay.
You can even pour hot water over
If
the
you wanted to
cashews.
speed it up.
Exactly.
Great.
And that'll
Thank you.
take like an hour.
Okay.
So this is my little juicer here, but you don't need one of these. If you have one, great. So some lime juice that I've just squeezed.
Alrighty.
This is about 2 tablespoons that I'm pouring in.
So we're going to add an acid, kind of tart acid.
Exactly, like a
Aspect to
sour
this.
cream,
Oh, but it won't
with
be sour cream. No fat.
dairy. Exactly. So we're
Well,
just
it will be
using
fat,
nuts.
but healthy fat because it's from a nut. Yeah.
So this is about 2 teaspoons. Again, I'm eyeballing.
Okay.
2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. And the last thing is a pinch of
Because the whole plant diet does not include milk products.
Exactly.
Okay, so this
No
is a
dairy.
substitute for sour cream.
Yes. So I'm just going to put on my lid here.
These fancy new blenders you people are introducing us to, which is so much fun.
This is a fun one. So it takes normally about a minute to blend, but I'll show you how it starts. And you can already see, I'm gonna open it for you,
that was real easy.
how much it blends so quickly. So you can see it's got a little more blending to
Whoa,
go.
that's amazing.
It's got
Very
some-
quick.
Yes. So, like I said, give it about a minute.
Okay.
But the final product, this is a cooking show
And
magic
it's so
trick.
pretty.
I have some cashew cream already ready. So you can see how smooth this gets, just like sour
It
cream.
really is just beautiful.
Exactly.
Now, since this is supposed to be the topping, we're not supposed to use too much, but I'm going to pretend like I'm somebody who is going to cheat just a little tiny bit. Is that okay?
Exactly. So there you have it. The
And
Fiesta
you said we
taco
could
salad.
garnish
Oh,
a
yes.
little bit?
I know you love cilantro,
I do
so
love
I'm going
cilantro.
to sprinkle
And if you don't like cilantro, a little parsley.
a little
Yeah.
parsley.
Or if you have other things in your garden, if you had some little, even some of the flower buds and things like that, you could have so much fun with this.
Or even
yeah.
like chives or something, that would be really good.
Yeah, it sure would be. Well, this is really, really, really cool. And this is the whole food, plant-based diet.
Yes.
And you said one of the nice things is since the things that are higher in calorie, like the avocado and the cashew cream, we're not using that as the main ingredient. That's just like a
Exactly.
garnish. We're using it sparingly to add some extra taste and different texture.
Right. So the avocado is really creamy and has a lot of natural fats in it, but we're not going to use the whole avocado. We're going to use it as a topping, and that way we can fill up on the leafy greens and the black beans and the quinoa and have a little bit of, you know, the cashew cream and avocado.
And if we are fortunate enough to have tomatoes that aren't diseased or have problems, we could certainly have tomatoes too.
That would be great. Homemade salsa or something? Yes.
Wouldn't that be fun? Well, I want to thank you so much for telling us. And even if we don't want to adopt a diet, be on it completely, it'd be wonderful to incorporate this several times a week.
Exactly.
You don't have to be radical about things all the time. Some
Right.
people have to make big changes, but there are ways that we can incorporate some of these ideas,
Very
and we
easily.
could change our diet slightly and get some of the benefits by
And you'll feel
enjoy
really good while doing it.
and enjoy a delicious meal at the same time.
Exactly.